If you guys are following That First Heard closely, you probably remember that Amber Heard said, Johnny won't let me wear anything revealing. Johnny won't let me wear anything short when we go out together. Oh, he's got this leash on me, but we've got some evidence that contradicts what Amber says, like usual. So let's take a look at this article here and a few other things about Kate Moss, and then I'll get to that evidence a little later. It says, watch Johnny Depp's lawyer celebrate as Amber Heard mentions Kate Moss in testimony, which was a pretty big deal. You know, Ben Chu did this fist bump, and it really looked like he was onto something there, and they had something good. This is a great picture, by the way. She's just all blurry back there, and Johnny's kind of looking at Ben Chu like, yep, look at that. Here's a recent video that offers Johnny Depp's fans even more hope that he could actually win the case against Amber Heard. In the clip, the actress is talking about how she felt her life was threatened numerous times while in the presence of her ex-husband. Her life was threatened. Man, talk about exaggerations. Unfortunately for her, she definitely slipped up one more time, and this can totally be used against her during the week in which the trial returns. This has everything to do with one of Johnny Depp's former partners, former model Kate Moss. During the early 90s, the actor and the supermodel dated for nearly 3 years, and they were proven to be deeply in love with each other. Then here's a tweet with a little video clip of Ben and the little fist bump in the air. On Thursday, Depp's attorney, Ben Chu, appeared to celebrate with a fist bump when Amber Heard mentioned Kate Moss during her testimony. They misspelled Ben Chu, but in Japanese you'd say it exactly the same way, so that's kind of interesting. Alright. During that testimony from Amber Heard, the actress claimed she heard from 2 different people that Depp pushed Kate Moss down a set of stairs. So the whole thing is just hearsay anyway. The whole thing is just something Amber Heard, third person, that she can't prove independently anyway. So that's not even actually anything. How could she even testify under oath about something that's just off her radar, out of her scope of knowledge? Well, she can testify about it, but it's going to have some pretty bad ramifications for her. As soon as she mentioned the former model's name, attorney Benjamin Chu celebrated and even made a fist with a wide smile on his face. But why did he react like this? Well, Depp's defense initially attempted to get Kate Moss into the list of witnesses in the actor's favor, but the court ruled she was in no way connected to the case. There you go. But now she is connected, thanks to Amber. However, Amber Heard mentioning Moss makes her directly connected to this case, and she can now be called as a witness. Evidence suggests that Kate Moss would support Johnny Depp and clarify these rumors about getting pushed down a set of stairs by him. And now, let's take a look at the evidence going back to contradict what Amber said about Johnny having her on a tight leash about what she wears. Look at that! Johnny Depp with a very naked Kate Moss, as this person B points out. Johnny Depp on top of a very naked Kate Moss, but Amber Heard is trying to say Johnny wouldn't allow her to wear revealing clothes. The math ain't making sense. Well, as B says, the math ain't mathing, Amber. Kind of a weird way to put it. But as you can clearly see, does this look like the person who would tell his girlfriend or wife not to go out in a dress that's like a little bit revealing, but yet he'd take a picture with his girlfriend, his relationship, when she's fully naked? Again, seems like one big, flat-out contradiction, exactly the opposite of what Amber says. It's no surprise. Not so much will surprise us anymore, but yeah, once in a while, I have been surprised during this trial. Like when Amber had the tissue and she was doing this stuff on the stand. I gotta admit, I was kind of surprised. We had to dig deep into Johnny Depp and Kate Moss's relationship from the 90s in order to see if this claim by Amber Heard had any solid basis. All we could find was an incident that allegedly started all the issues between the couple since 1994. Johnny Depp appeared in handcuffs going out to the Mark Hotel in New York City, where he apparently had a vicious fight with the supermodel. They completely trashed the place and had to pay nearly $10,000 in damages. However, Moss was reportedly unharmed during that incident. In later years, both have only said nice things about each other and expressed regret for failing to continue their relationship. So if Moss takes the stand, all clues point at her supporting Johnny instead of Amber. And that incident gets around. I've said this more than once. I've trashed rooms. I've trashed hotel rooms. I actually have some videos of it, to be honest. Throwing water bottles around, pulling curtains down, doing all this shit. I was young. I was pissed at the landlord, at my company I worked for. It didn't have anything to do with a relationship I was in. I'm not an abuser or a bad guy or nothing. I was frustrated. I trashed the room. It's just a room. It's not a person. It doesn't matter. That's what you do. You take your anger out on things. You don't take your anger out on people. So I think Johnny taking out his anger on a room is kind of a good thing. And for me, not that weird. For me, that's what people do sometimes. Amber Heard repeated a claim that Johnny Depp pushed then-girlfriend Kate Moss down the stairs during the relationship, 94 to 97, that Heard first used in London. Moss never said this. What Moss did say is, quoted in part below, "Justice for Johnny." And the quote is, "There's nobody that's ever really been able to take care of me. Johnny did. I was lucky to be with Johnny," from Kate Moss. So we have Amber on the stand saying something she didn't actually see first person, something she heard from people that had happened in the 90s, like 20 years ago or more, and we've got this picture directly contradicting what Amber says about Johnny keeping her on a leash when she goes out wearing skimpy clothes and stuff like that. So once again, we have to add onto the mountain of contradictions that we've got against Amber, and yet the media has to say that we're trolls and we're misogynist and things like that. Well, sorry, media. The fact is, take a look. We're looking at evidence and we're making up our minds critically, and that is what you guys don't like. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shout outs, special thanks, things like that. If you don't subscribe, I guess I'll be pretty sad. But I'll get over it, make a new video, something like that. We're done here for now. See you next time.